Hello and welcome to Daily Race B in Gran Turismo Sport. We're here at Dragon Trail for just 4 laps in Group 4. As you can see, I've qualified P7 in the 458 Italia. I know not the best car for this track, that has to go to the Dodge Viper, as it seems to be getting all of the best times around this track. Which, if you saw by my driver and sportsmanship rating, I am nowhere near. But regardless, you join me for a real roller coaster of emotions for such a short race. I start here behind the Viper. As it's the fastest car around this track, I expect it to get a better start than me. Somehow, it doesn't. I'm right up behind him in the slipstream, getting really close in for T1. I take his inside, and it's just that easy. I've already made up his position, and that is a sign of things to come. Quite an emotional, up and down sort of exciting and then sad race. Although a lot of scraps that I've somehow managed to dodge in between the two Germans who have had a bit of a confrontation around turn 3. Here the Viper goes a little bit wide. Tried to take advantage of that, but I somehow didn't get the better exit than him. I'm sort of making a bit of time here, but I make the stupid mistake of taking this turn way too narrow, so I needed to brake way earlier than him. He keeps his position for now, and we're following him up through the S's, coming up into the hairpin. He goes really wide. He's brought it onto the sand. We're up into P2, and first place he's just gone. He's escaped all the fights. He's about 4 seconds ahead. Here, the Porsche, I just didn't want to fight this one, considering how short the race is. I just lose too much time. So I just concede the position, let him go ahead of me. Didn't want to be fighting through the chicane of death. Really the make-or-break corner. And this time, unfortunately, braking a bit late, skipping the curb, and just smacking off the wall. So I concede again a position to this Viper. Quickly tucking back into the slipstream, trying to make something happen around this second last turn, sorry. Sort of trail braking, flat out, as soon as I hit that cone on the inside, into the slipstream, staying along the straight. I think if I wasn't in the slipstream, I would have lost about half a second coming up this. But as you'll see in a second, he tries to go a bit cross-country, so I think maybe I'll be able to gain a few tenths on him. Braking a tiny bit later than him, taking the inside. He's not very happy about that, as you can see on my radar. He doesn't really want to give me the space, although admittedly I did only give him enough space to fit a bicycle through, so this man either has amazing awareness of how long this car is, or that was an attempt at ramming me off the track. But regardless, these drivers behind me, I just kind of frightened me a little bit at this low a level. I just didn't want people going right up my arse. I was quite happy with how this race is going. I wanted to continue that way. But anyway, we tuck in behind the German driving the Sirocco, who I already thread the needle between him and another Porsche earlier in the race. But he gets about 6 tenths up on me through just the S's. Now trying to make some time back through this long braking zone, get right up behind him, get on the power nice and early. Don't lose too much time, but I don't exactly want to overtake him through the chicanes. But as you'll see in a second, we get a bit closer than I'd like to. I mean, I'll admit at this point, a little bit of poo shot out. But anyway, he ghosts, we go through him, we're up into 4th place again. This has been quite a roller coaster for just 2 laps in. Coming into the second last turn again, braking down to 3rd, trail braking, down to 2nd, flat out as soon as we hit that cone. Trying to make up some time on the Cayman here. But I'm nowhere near his slipstream, so him and the 2 Vipers just get away on this straight. I'd say, as I said, I lost about half a second by just not being in the slipstream. But anyway, there's a little bit of confrontation there. Luckily the ghosting mechanic just kind of avoided, or helped them avoid ramming each other off the track. But coming up to this turn, just lifting off the accelerator a little bit, getting my inside wheel onto that curb, and then flowing it out of here into the S's. Nothing really of note happens through here, apart from the Viper, again, taking a little bit of the dirt with him. The Porsche takes quite an odd line. Someone threw a cone at me. That's probably the most noteworthy thing that's happened this lap. Coming down into the big braking zone, trying to make up some time again by braking a bit later than everyone else. I mean, I get within 6/10 of them, but not much because the Porsche has the slipstream of the Viper obviously ahead of him. So we come into the chicanes, coming into the make or break corner of every lap. You really just need to clench and breathe in coming through that, or else, I don't know, it's such an unpredictable corner. You either know it and have it absolutely mastered down to a T, or it will ruin your race at some point. Anyway, the Porsche gets past the Viper. The Viper obviously not too happy about that. You can see him, he obviously got on the power earlier, just kind of nudging the Porsche around the corner. Yet again, I'm not in the slipstream, so I'm not even going to follow their racing line. I'm just going to try and keep as straight a line as possible through here so I can get my speed up, try and lose as little time as possible. And here they have a little bit of a scrap, again the Viper going cross-country, and he gets a lovely cutback on the Porsche. The Porsche goes very wide through that, and yeah, because he's ghosted, it just jumps straight through. And here on the last lap I was quite content to finish third, trying to make up as much time, trying to get away from the Porsche so he didn't lunge into another corner and probably take both of us out of it. Considering the level of these drivers, I wouldn't have been surprised. So really trying to match the Viper and make up some time on him. I get a second away from the Porsche, so here I'm kind of relaxing a little bit. The Viper takes quite a wobbly line, so I'm thinking maybe I'll build up some time here. But I mean, what a race. From 7th up to 2nd, back down to I think 5th, and coming into the chicanes for the last lap, P3. As you can see, 6 seconds to first place. I mean, he just got away from everything. All the fights, all of the defensive maneuvers, he just left. So really, qualifying first in this race is the only way you're really going to win it. But anyway, I build up a little bit of time on the Viper here, so I'm kind of thinking maybe I can make something happen here in the second last corner. Nothing really. I get close to him, try and get on the power as early as possible, but tuck into the slipstream. At this point, there's nothing I can do, but very happy with P3. Quite an exciting race. But yeah, as you can see, 4.5 seconds between first and second place. That's, I mean, for this level of driver, that's probably normal, but you know. Anyway, that was Group 4 Daily Race B around the Dragon Trail. I'll try and make videos more consistently, but we all know that's not going to happen. So like, subscribe, all that stuff, and peace.